Hey guys, welcome back. Going to talk a little bit about Tesla Motors today. When I first heard of Tesla Motors way back when, I was super excited. I've been in the electrical business for many years and been a big fan of electricity and all it offers. And so when Tesla Motors came out, electric cars, all that, I was very excited. And very few people believed in it back then. And I was really excited at an early point on in that. But my opinion of Tesla Motors has changed. I have a lot of beef with Tesla Motors, and I'll get into that in this video. But if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with friends and family as always, and check back over my videos for more videos like this. I like to rant about random stuff in the economy, what's happening in the world, and offer some controversial views that are often counter to the popular opinion. So let's get right into it. What's my beef with Tesla Motors? I have a lot of beef with Tesla Motors. First of all, Nikola Tesla invented the entire 21st century. All this technology we're using, the wireless, the cell phones, as far as turbine engines and planes and the entire electrical system we use is all invented by Nikola Tesla. Amazing, smartest man that ever existed in my opinion, and he's invented hundreds and hundreds of patents and inventions, and he basically invented everything we're using here. So first beef I have is Nikola Tesla. The name, we should all know it. We should all be taught this in the history books and in school. And they basically have buried all that info. They don't want us knowing about him because he invented free energy, and they buried that. And he's invented all kinds of technology that the elites have kept from us because they want to keep us enslaved. And so what they've done is Tesla Motors has stolen his name. I don't know how he got away with it, but basically they've stolen Nikola Tesla's name and used it. So now anytime I try and talk about Nikola Tesla, people think I'm talking about Tesla Motors. So it's very frustrating. It's just another way they kind of take away the true knowledge and that. And there's some major kind of things that point to Elon Musk being in on this with the deep state cabal, or these corrupt people that seem to be running everything at the top. Part of the reason I think that is he wants to blanket the globe with free Wi-Fi. And if you know about Wi-Fi, you know it's harming all of us. It's making us sick. It's brainwashing people. It's affecting our mitochondria, which is the engine of our cell in our body. And so I think in the future, we're going to see all kinds of cancers arise. And it's basically going to become the new smoking, where none of us realized how bad it was for us. And then in the future, all these cancers are going to show up and they're going to realize why. And so these guys are really powerful, super rich. He's worth well over 8 billion now, I think. It's just ridiculous. And they obviously employ crazy think tanks, and they know what's going on. So they know this stuff is making us sick, and yet they want to blanket the globe with it. Right there, that should tell you that he has some ulterior motives. And if you look at Tesla Motors, look at the Model X, for instance. The entry-level Model X here in Canada is $120,000 before tax, or 110 just over. And then there's a 17% sales tax on that. So right away that bumps it up to 130,000. And then you're buying that car with money you've already paid tax on. And the tax brackets here in Canada can range from 30% all the way up to 50%. So if you tack on a 50% income tax on that money that you had to earn to buy this car with, well, now the car becomes valued at over $240,000. So this is just insane. This is for the ultra rich. These cars, they don't give a shit about the plebs, the dying middle class, and the lower class. Basically, this isn't a car for us. It's way out of reach for us. They're catering to the super rich, and basically these guys are privileged to some extent where they don't have to pay for all the gas and all that. But even that, they're getting people locked into these deals with Tesla Motor, and then they're going to jack the price of electricity. We've already seen that when it first came out. They all had access to free supercharging, and now they're charging. So it's a big racket. And another thing people aren't talking about is the fact that the maintenance costs on these cars is going to be just absurd. How many people actually fix these highly technical electric cars? Very few. We have a lot of traditional mechanics that work on traditional cars, but very few people work on these Tesla cars. You need all kinds of specialized equipment, and stuff like the battery always needs replacing every 10 years, which is tens of thousands of dollars. So it's a huge money grab. You have to be so rich to be able to afford one of these cars, first off, and to maintain it, secondly. So this is why I don't like it. Their stock price has went ninefold in 1 year. So that's just another way they're pushing these things out of access to the average person. Only the super rich are able to get these kind of gains and essentially own this kind of technology. And if you learn about Nikola Tesla, you'll learn all kinds of stuff. He basically came out with a better system. So he invented the current electrical system that we use, which is a three-phase AC power. And shortly after that, he came up with a better system where he was able to create endless amounts of free energy that created no pollution. He could transmit it across the globe at 0% losses, or it was like 99.99999% efficiency. So very negligible losses in the power transmission. And basically, he went to JP Morgan with the idea, which is the largest banker in the US, and he got shut down. They took advantage of him and they capitalized on all his inventions, and they took all the money from it and left Tesla to die as a poor man in a hotel room. So the history is pretty sad, and they stole all the tech from him. They buried this free energy because they couldn't meter it. They were going to put a power system that went across the globe, and anyone would be able to access energy for free at any time. You wouldn't have to pay. And of course, JP Morgan didn't like that. He wanted to be able to meter all these consumers and charge them for every bit of electricity that they needed. And he bought up all the copper mines. So they made huge money on all of the copper wires that are needed in the current system. And it's a big racket, and they've buried the true technology. We have way more advanced technology. I know many are going to call me a conspiracy theorist. I'm very used to that by now. But if you do your own reading and your own research and learn about this stuff, it's all out there. So the other thing is, when Tesla died, essentially all his work was put into storage and held there, and the US government got in and they got a hold of it. They carbon copied all of it, and they've recently released all these documents, and I've read through them. And the main thing they were going after, they were most interested in three of his inventions. The free energy was number one. The Harp technology, he had a different name for it, but it's essentially high frequency or high powered energy weapons. So they were very interested in that technology. And they were also interested in his anti-gravity technology. So Tesla actually found a way to counter the charge of gravity. He had a different word for it. He didn't believe that gravity existed. There's another thing that he called it. I can't recall at the moment, but essentially he found a way to counter that charge and have anti-gravity hovering crafts. So essentially, they already have that technology. The US government has it, and they've buried it. They've kept us in the dark. And so it's very suspicious to me when Elon Musk comes out of nowhere. All of a sudden, he's able to take over. NASA in the States goes under, and all of a sudden Elon Musk comes in and gets a hold of all the contracts with the US government, and they have us believing that he's the cutting edge of technology and we're still using rocket technology. Meanwhile, the elites definitely have this anti-gravity technology, and I know you guys are going to think I'm totally nuts, but hopefully one day the truth comes out and everyone sees what's going on. So these guys, he's in on it, and you look at his new wife or whatever, and they're super weird. They're essentially, they look like Satanists. Look her up. Pretty wild shit she's into. They had some weird music videos where they were all wearing masks even before this pandemic hit. And the elites kind of try and foreshadow some of this stuff because they're on the in. They know a lot of this stuff before it happens, and they keep us in the dark. So I think that Elon Musk is in with these super corrupt elite Satanists that are running the world. That's just my opinion. You guys think what you want, but yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of things, negative aspects about Tesla Motors that I don't like, and I think they're burying the true technology that's there, that has the ability to liberate mankind, and they're trying to keep it for themselves, keep us in the dark. It wouldn't surprise me if they've already been flying around with this anti-gravity tech, and they've probably found some new planet somewhere or something like that that they're probably not even telling us about. Just think about it. If you had anti-gravity tech and you were able to start exploring the stars and you found a new pristine untouched planet, would you tell all the plebs back here on Earth? Probably not. And so that's my thoughts, just a theory, but definitely Tesla Motors. I don't like it at all. It's for the super rich, and you need so much money to be able to buy these cars and maintain them and all that. And I don't like that. I don't like how they're hiding the true technology from us. Essentially, this stuff was invented back in the early 1900s to mid 1900s, and they've been hiding it from us ever since. And there's a ton of proof. There's people that have come forward that have worked on these projects for the US government, and they compartmentalize everything so that no one has the true big picture. And that's how they keep this stuff a secret. So they've had a bunch of it leak out, and we've heard rumors that they might start releasing some of the Tesla tech, but I'm very skeptical. I don't think they will. I think they're holding it for themselves, and they're going to keep us enslaved as long as they can. So that's some of the reasons why I don't like Tesla Motors. Personally, I like to just buy, you know, a $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 car, something that I can buy cash, where I'm not overextending, because you take that $240,000 amount, you know, here in Canada, many of us, especially the middle class that's getting wiped out, and the poor people, like, we can't even dream of that kind of money. We'd love to have that kind of money to buy us a home, a shelter to actually be able to live in. And this is what people are spending on their cars just to drive around in as a status symbol. It's a fucking joke. It's classism at its finest. They don't give a shit about the dying middle class and the poor. It's all the rich get everything and access to all this shit, and then they keep us enslaved and chunking away in our gas powered cars. And the other thing, before I forget, that people don't seem to think about with all of this technology is all of the rare earth minerals they're using. So they're using all kinds of these super rare earth minerals that's really hard on the earth to extract, and the battery technology, all the lithium ion they're doing, and the lithium mines and all that. So it's very, very harmful to the environment. And these batteries have to be replaced every 10 years and that. So, you know, is it really that much more efficient? You think it's saving the planet by if we all go and convert to electric cars now, and it's all really in so many electronics and highly sensitive stuff that's always going to need fixing and replacing, and you got to take it to a mechanic and pay them hundreds of dollars to work on it. How much more efficient is that than just keeping your old gas powered car that we've had forever and just keep maintaining it? That's my question for you. So many more resources are needed if we're all going to convert to these electric cars, and put all so much wealth into acquiring these, you know, highly expensive. I'm not even, they're liabilities. They're not an asset. Highly expensive liabilities, just as a status symbol to be able to drive around and show off how much money you have in your fancy Tesla. It makes me sick. But whatever, do what you want. It's your money. People who are in it have the choice to do what they want. But so getting back to the price, 240,000. Most of us would only dream of having that kind of money to even just buy a house to shelter us and to protect us from the elements, our family and ourselves. But these people are buying cars with it. And then you look, most people are buying it on credit. So not only are they paying tax, a sales tax, they're paying tax on the money they had to earn to buy that car, but then they're financing it on top of that. So then you add on whatever kind of financing, maybe it's 2% or whatever. So again, the price just ends up, you know, $250,000 to get one of these cars. And just as a status symbol, you're going to drive it for a month or two, and you're going to think you're hot shit, and you're going to be so proud of yourself and feel all good. And you know, it's going to slowly wear off. And then next thing you know, it's just like any other car. You're just commuting to work and running around to pay all your bills and make the money to pay for all this. And no one really cares, you know. you think people care and they're all excited about you. There's so many Teslas now. You just look like another average person on the street. It's not a big deal. It really wears off the luxury, the status symbol. It wears off after some time, and then you've just spent way too much on a car, And so that's where I have my beef with these highly priced cars and this technology and making us believe that it's going to save the planet and all this shit. It's another big racket. So that's my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know my thoughts are often counter to the narrative, counter to the mainstream belief, but that's why I like to share them and get you guys thinking at least, and exploring other possibilities and ways to think. So you guys, thanks so much for tuning in for another rant. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.